Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another Nintendo NX news video. Today we have two awesome bits of information for you and we're going to go ahead and jump right in with Kenichiro Takaki. He is the creator of the Senran Kagura franchise. This is the franchise with all of the busty women fighting against each other and fighting against monsters and doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and it has a little cult following just because of its action and of course because of its looks, how all of the women look. But this game apparently seems that it could be heading to Nintendo NX according to the series creator, because he did say quotations that he's very interested in the Nintendo NX, and then he says that he would eventually like to work on the console. And I thought that was interesting that he said that he'd like to work on the console. He didn't say he'd like to work on the handheld, or he didn't say he'd like to work on the device, but he said very interested in working on the console. So maybe he knows a little bit more than what he's actually saying, maybe not, who knows on that aspect. But what we can deduct, at least from the most recent things that's been going on and the stuff that I'm going to talk about in a little bit later in this video, it does seem like the Nintendo NX is going to have a healthy console portion to this system, more than just some type of dock that is used, at least based on what I'm hearing here and based on this next rumor that we're going to discuss. But this definitely wasn't rumored with this one. He also talked about how Nintendo was kind of cool with him doing that type of like sexy type of game on the Nintendo 3DS, because you know Nintendo obviously is more of a family company. They don't really make games like Senran Kagura, but he said that they really didn't have any restrictions of what he could do, just as long as it falls within the guidelines of the ESRB and it's rated appropriately. Nintendo was absolutely fine with that, and they didn't really make him change anything or anything like that. So I think that was pretty cool that Nintendo was down with all of that. But if you play the game, it's really not like that bad. Like, it's really not that bad. It's just some whatever, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Most of the fans of the game really like the action. They really like what's going on with the combat in the game and just the style of it. And it's not too bad of a game. I mean, I've played them before. It's all right. It's not necessarily my style of game, but I can see why that it has a nice, like, niche dedicated fan base. So hopefully we get to see something on this game as far as a new version for the Nintendo NX. That would be awesome. The more the merrier. But next, this is the big news here, guys, and there was apparently a leak from a major retail partner. So this is a verified user, at least from what Reddit has done, and I'll walk you through the verification process that's listed on the subreddit where they got this from. So this is what's going on here, and this is how they're saying that they verify this information that I'm about to tell you. We have done our best to confirm this individual's identity, and we feel pretty confident about it. However, someone who's determined enough can fake damn near anything, as evidenced by that 3D printed controller hoax from a while back. As always, make sure to take everything we're about to post with a grain of salt. Here's the verification process. Quotations. We have verified that our source works for a very large retailer. We have verified that this source is in a position to have access to this sort of information. Exact details of what was provided will not be released. We take protecting the identity of our sources very seriously. Our source has added the disclaimer that this is all the initial information and subject to change as time goes on. Note, as part of our responsible leaking policies, we'll be rewriting the information we have been provided in our own words, in the off chance that the specific verbiage used could help track down our source's identity. I have asked our source to monitor this post and make sure that the content we have rewritten on their behalf is still accurate. There may be small edits or corrections as a result. Here's the marketing when he talks about in this leak. Marketing. Interact with the game on the go. Phrase seen on the poster. Strong co-branding effort with Mario launch title on many posters. Console is currently set to launch with at least 4 titles on deck, and I'm thinking that means first party, because I think it's going to have more than 4 titles total at launch. Stores should be receiving demo units around February. Base price point seems to be sitting at $299.99. Bundle. The NX is currently set to have a bundle option. The contents of this bundle is currently unknown. Bundle price is currently sitting at $399.99. Packaging. The packaging for the Nintendo NX will be slightly larger than the Wii U's packaging. The packaging is relatively clean and simple and is similar to the Wii U in terms of packaging design. The color scheme for the packaging is white and blue compared to the Wii U's blue and black Premium Edition. The packaging still says NX. However, there is still no indication if this is a placeholder or the final name. The areas of the package that would usually depict the hardware were blurred and redacted by Nintendo in an attempt to keep it hidden. Features and specs. games will be on cartridges. 4K streaming has been mentioned. What this likely means is playback of this content such as Netflix, not gameplay. 1080p 60 frames per second are being used by the marketing teams in relation to gameplay on the console portion. I've heard unconfirmed rumblings of 900p for the infamous hybrid part of the device. We are currently sitting on more information from various other sources. However, since they have either stopped responding to our messages or have not met our verification standards, the information is not displayed here. This is interesting. All this information is very interesting, and it was funny because, of course, many people who are on the Eurogamer side of things, who are on the cheap, dinky hybrid side of things, that this Nintendo NX is not going to be very powerful, it's going to be, underneath the Xbox One, they immediately wrote this off, of course, without even at least just taking a second to look through it. As far as the verification methods, like they said, anybody can, if they work hard enough, can fake anything. But all this information here doesn't seem anything too crazy, to be honest. Obviously, if Nintendo was going to do something as far as making a splash in this industry, I don't think they're going to come with a weak, dinky, handheld. I just don't think that. And these prices are indicative of that. Like, obviously, people who believe in the hybrid thing, they feel that the thing's going to be cheaper because it's going to be a device that's weaker than the Xbox One. So $299 to $399 is something that they're definitely not thinking is going to happen, because that would actually indicate that this thing is more of a beefier console type of device. Now, some people are saying, oh, well, the Wii U launched at $350, but you have to remember that Nintendo has realized, and everyone in the world has realized, that the Wii U failed. There's no way Nintendo can come to market again with another device priced around that as far as the Wii U and have it be underpowered. That is suicide. People are already going to have their alert and ready for the gimmicks when it comes to Nintendo. For the past 10 years, Nintendo has just been one big gimmick to a lot of people. And yes, it worked with the Wii, but that attitude, those ideals, everything that the Wii represented completely destroyed the fan base and completely destroyed everything for Nintendo going to the Wii U. Casual gamers said, hey, I can buy a Kindle for $50, or I can just play games on my smartphone. Core gamers said, you're not tricking me again with this, Nintendo. So I do think that Nintendo is going to be a little bit smarter and is going to probably put a little bit more oomph and power into this system, whether it's NVIDIA or AMD, whatever the case is. I do feel that it's not going to be a weak type of device like Eurogamer and others have suggested. I do feel that there is going to be something to make the system more powerful. If it's the base deck console, whatever you want to call it, you could have an aspect of a handheld or whatever that hooks in and increases the power. You take a mobile aspect on the go and play a game. It's kind of interesting just because what Boogie said and what this one said, a version of the game. So there's going to be some type of mobile version of the game that you can download or play on the go. Not necessarily the same game that you can play on the go, because that would be weird if it was just, okay, well, you play one type of game and then you just come home and you play the same game. Maybe it just upscales it. That's not necessarily unique or game-changing idea that some people have hinted, or at least Nintendo has hinted at the Nintendo NX is going to be, that it's going to be something different, it's going to be something unique, it's going to be something innovative. I just don't see it lining up with all the stuff that's coming out. There's been some people that are saying, oh, well, you got to be very wary of rumors. As we get closer to reveal, people are going to be desperate. And that could be the case, I agree. But people are also desperate earlier in the year to make rumors and to make stuff up. People are desperate all over the time. It can be, remember those one controllers, those Hey Arnold football shaped controllers? Like, they were desperate to make rumors and deceive people then, so people are always going to do that. However, as the closer you get to reveal, the more information is out there for people to know. Like, that's the one thing you do have to understand, that everyone has to understand. The closer we do get to reveal, there will be some stuff that go through the cracks. There will be some stuff that come up, so is this one of them? Who knows? Who knows if this is one of them? Obviously, it's a rumor. You don't 100% believe any rumor that's out there. I don't 100% believe any rumor that's out there. But at the same time, you have to look at what Nintendo has stated, and you have to look at what's been lining up here. And a lot of this stuff seems to be like, yeah, 1080p 60 frames per second, that's something that Nintendo really wanted to do with the Wii U with all their games, but just couldn't because the system just wasn't strong enough to do so. But they got that achieved on some of their games, like for instance Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, beautiful at that, and that's one of the most successful games on the platform. So I do feel that that could be a target for them. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the next video. Peace.